The badge is supposed to mean honor, service, and protection. But what happens when the ones sworn to uphold the law are the ones breaking it? In this courtroom, the tables turn. A police officer, once respected, once trusted, now faces the very justice system he once served. And when the guilty verdict is read, his reaction shocks everyone. Our story takes us to Chicago, Illinois, a city with a long, complicated history between law enforcement and the communities they patrol. In 2014, a 17-year-old teenager, Laquan McDonald, was shot 16 times by Officer Jason Van Dyke. The case ignited national outrage. Protests filled the streets, and for years, many believed this officer would never face justice. But eventually, the truth couldn't be hidden, and a courtroom trial was set. For weeks, jurors listened to harrowing testimony. Dashcam footage played again and again, showing Laquan walking away when the shots rang out. Witnesses described the horror, the sound of bullets echoing through the night. Van Dyke sat at the defense table, stone-faced, sometimes scribbling notes, other times avoiding the jury's eyes. The courtroom was divided. Officers and police union representatives filled one side, while Laquan's grieving family sat on the other. Every glance, every sigh, every whispered word was charged with decades of tension between community and police. Finally, after days of deliberation, the jury returned. Silence swept across the courtroom. Reporters held their breath. Families clutched each other's hands. The clerk read the verdict. We, the jury, find the defendant Jason Van Dyke guilty of second-degree murder and 16 counts of aggravated battery. The words rippled through the room. Gasps erupted. Laquan's mother collapsed into tears. His relatives wept openly, hugging one another, their cries echoing against the courtroom walls. Across the aisle, Van Dyke's wife buried her face in her hands. Van Dyke himself blinked rapidly, his composure cracking for the first time. His lips trembled, his eyes darted, and then he collapsed slightly against his attorney, whispering, "Oh my God!" When the sentencing day arrived, the tension was just as thick. The judge's gavel struck. Van Dyke was sentenced to nearly 7 years in prison. For Laquan's family, it wasn't enough. 16 shots for only 7 years. But for many watching, it was a groundbreaking moment. A police officer actually convicted in a courtroom, forced to face accountability. The sound of the gavel, the cries of the family, and the image of a once powerful officer now in handcuffs became one of the most haunting symbols of justice in modern American history. Courtrooms have seen killers, thieves, and criminals of every kind. But when the guilty wear a badge, the drama cuts deeper. These cases shake the foundation of trust in justice itself. In the Chicago courtroom, the walls echoed with pain, anger, and disbelief, but also with a glimmer of accountability. The officer who once carried a gun and a badge left that courtroom with shackles instead. Because in the end, no one, not even those sworn to uphold the law, is above it.